Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. I hope you're all safe during this pandemic. And let's get started with a new session where we would be stressing out more upon things like marketing automation going forward. I've been busy with a new program that I'm launching, which is going to be a complete new analytics training module. So stay tuned for that. I think it should be out in the next 3 to 4 weeks. In the meantime, let's get started without much delay. What we would be talking about today is we would be discussing a particular case study with reference to marketing automation, and this will open new doors for us to understand about new technologies, new elements, new concepts, new terms that we have never been acquainted with before. And we will also look at these case studies in real time. When I say real time, what I mean by this is I think the best way to understand anything is to see what has happened, what others have done already, for us to gain a basic understanding or the fundamental understanding of what marketing automation is. Unfortunately, most of us today feel marketing automation is nothing but just sending a bunch of emails, and you automate that using an automated software. That's automation for us. But unfortunately, that's just a tiny part of what marketing automation does. And the whole idea of collecting email IDs, building your lists, and batching and blasting emails to this particular list is something which is not going to work going forward because increased customer needs, increased expectations from the businesses to from the customers end, and what the business should do to make sure it delivers to their expectations is the whole game. So let's get started and let's see what I'm talking about in the meantime. So what I'm talking about is when it's time for marketing automation, I have built a small, simple structure which talks about what are the most important elements of a marketing automation system. Now, when you are considering automation, whether you're a small business or a practitioner who is into digital marketing and who is working for a company who is going to execute marketing automation campaigns, these are the three elements that you should remember. Segmentation, communications, and lead scoring and lead nurturing are the three most important elements that a marketing automation system should have. While this is not exhaustive, there are many other things, but these three should be a must in your marketing automation strategy. If you have these three things as a must, you're good to go, while you can make tweaks along the way, right? Now, if you see this happy spot that you have right in the middle of this Venn diagram, you have segmentation and you have communications and you have lead scoring and nurturing mechanisms. The overlap of all these three elements is what creates an effective marketing automation system. Now, if I don't have lead scoring and lead nurturing in place, if I only have segmentation and communications, it is not going to be a long term plan, right? Because I'm just not looking at the long term plan where I should be nurturing leads and building up the audiences to a day where they will be ready to buy my products. At the same time, if I have both segmentation and lead scoring and nurturing, but if I don't have communications, it's only going to be so much because there is no real action that's happening. Action happens when you communicate what you have in mind. Your strategy should be communicated to the audiences. If I only have communications and the lead scoring or nurturing systems in place, it is going to mean that wrong message is going to be sent to the wrong audiences because my list is not segmented and my messaging will not be according to what the segments are. So, for an effective marketing automation system, you should have all these three things in place, which is segmentation, communications, and lead nurturing. The overlap of all these three elements is what creates the sweet spot for your marketing automation strategy. Now, I promised you that this is going to be a session where we will be talking about case studies. I will not be taking the names of the companies or the agencies which executed these things because that's not important. What is important is what have they done, or what is the strategy that they have followed to get what they wanted to achieve. That's the important element, right? To understand things better, we need to understand what the challenge is in the first place. If you look at what the challenge is in this case, turn prospects into customers and repeat customers, which means this is a business where they're getting visits to their website or whether they're getting visitors to their website. Now, the challenge here is they want to make these visitors into customers, which means conversions has to be done. At the same time, they also want them to be repeat customers, which means they don't want it to be a one-time activity. They want these customers to be recurring. Now, that is a challenge that the business has on its hand right now. Now, when you have a challenge, you also need to have a strategy and you need to have an approach that these businesses followed to execute what they achieved, what they believe is the goal, right? Now, let's see what the approach was when it comes to the business, what they have done in terms of what was their action plan. Now, their action plan was simple. Their approach was automate your lead nurturing and scoring, and which when they say automation, when they say automated, they means that they have some automated sequences that they set up, and the focus was on lead nurturing and scoring, which helped them turn prospects into customers and repeat customers. While on the outset, it seems very simple. Okay, what has this company XYZ done? They have just put together a bunch of automated emails and they said that just sent out these emails and their results came in, right? It is not as simple. So let us look at what they actually have done to execute the goal of turning their prospects into customers and repeat customers. Now let's look at what the business has done to achieve their so-called objective of turning prospects into customers and repeat customers, right? So what they have done is in their usual process of collecting email IDs, they have started segmenting these audiences. After they have segmented these audiences, they have started sending different emails to different segments based upon what they have been segmented for. For example, these could be gender based segments, these could be segments based upon the activity that the user has done. For example, there may be somebody, let me show you an example. There may be someone who is a new user. There may be somebody who is a user who is new but who has not yet logged in, which means he just signed up and forgot about it. Now, there has been a third category where the login is done and they've already finished 2 lessons or the free lessons that these guys provided. Now, in this case, there are 3 segments, right? Segment 1, which is a new user segment. Segment 2, which is a logged in user but not done anything. There is a third category, logged in, and he has already finished 2 lessons. So what these guys have done is they have categorized this into 3 segments. Email 1 goes to the list of people who have been new users, saying, welcome to the new program, and this is a series of video lessons that we have put together for you. Please go ahead and watch these. So that's segment 1 to which email 1 has been sent. Now then you have a second category of people who have logged in, but they have not done anything so far. So you send reminder emails, you send emails, you space them out, let's say once in a week or twice in a week or once in 2 weeks, or give them some reminders, give them a bonus where you say that somebody who has finished all the video lessons will be getting a 5% discount or a coupon or a gift card or whatever. Something to entice them, and you send that email to the second segment. The third segment is these are the guys who have already done sign up, they have logged in, they've also looked at a few lessons. Now, if you start comparing these 3 categories, segment 1, segment 2, and segment 3, in the sales cycle of where a visitor becomes a customer, who is who is closer to becoming a customer? The guy who has logged in and finished 2 lessons. He's closer to the goal post, right? So what you do is you send them a very, very attractive email, enticing them to go ahead and finish reaching the sales cycle. Now, if you look at these segments as segment 1 and 2 and 3, segment 3 has huge potential because you've already brought them to a stage where they're closer to the sales cycle to finish your goal. You will start focusing on these because these are high ticket or these are very relevant leads at this point in time. And eventually, category 1, segment 1 and segment 2, you will start nurturing them based upon what you could help them with. Give them some more hand holding, give them a demo session, give them a one-on-one call or whatever, and then bring them back. So of all the 3 categories, the category which is very important at this point in time, which is the need of the hour, is the category 3 because this guy is very close to the sales cycle. Now, once these emails are done, this is where your automated sequences kick in and they will start performing different actions based upon what you have defined as per your segments. Now, once that is done, you will score these things based upon different parameters. For example, somebody who has reached this level has a higher score. Somebody who is not even signed up with me has a least score. So based upon these scores, you will start focusing on these guys independently. And this is where you will optimize things. And it is a cyclic process. It is not something that you say, I've done it and it's done. This is a repetitive process. For example, how does this end? So this is how it ends. Now, once this action is done, now that you have sent emails to these guys and you have also scored these guys. So for example, this has got a score of 8, this has got a score of 10, and this has got a score of 40. Now, this is the lead scoring mechanism, which we will be talking about in the sessions to come. Now, 40 is more priority for me because 40 is closer to the sales cycle. I will start focusing on these guys and I'll start optimizing it. Once I optimize it, maybe this can be divided into 2 more segments. So again, I will reach this stage as a process of my optimizing, where I will start focusing on this and adding more categories to the segment, adding more layers, making it more effective, or tailor making my email even better, give them some more additional benefits, and perform a different action maybe at some point in time, and then score it accordingly and then optimize. So this is how things will go in a cyclic process until you achieve what you want. So basically, the strategy per se in this situation is they have segmented the audiences and they have defined different segments based upon some categories. They devised each email according to where they are at the sales cycle. and automated sequences will start kicking in depending upon what you have defined in the email. Your emails will include different links which matter most to that category of the audiences. Then you assign a score, then you act accordingly, then you keep optimizing. This is what the strategy was in terms of executing their goal. Now, when you look at the results that this business has achieved, they have achieved a 416% increase in the customer lifetime value, which means because they wanted repeat customers also. Now, when you tailor make your message so very exciting, so very close to what this segment actually needs, because you're actually following them along the path, it'll appeal to them more, it'll be more relevant. So that is the reason probably these guys achieved a high customer value, a high lifetime value. Then you have 67% increase in click-through rates from the best prospects. Then they were also able to achieve 18.4% improvement in lead to purchase time. Now, the time taken for a lead after he has signed up to go ahead and make a purchase is reduced by almost 20%, which is extraordinary. Now, the reason for this could be they followed along with the customers. Wherever the customer was stuck, they sent a corrective follow up action and they've automated those sequences so that it could be scaled. So, that could be one of the reasons where the time taken by the lead to become a customer has reduced by 20%. Now, based upon this case study, let us pick up some insights. All right. So very often we have this automated sequences executing in our marketing automation campaigns, and it is strange that we assume that these have to be very robotic, very technical. Doesn't have to be human. It can't be human is something that we misunderstand things to be, but that's not true. Let me tell you the reason behind that. If you customize your email, if you personalize your email enough, if you are sending the right email to the right customer at the right stage of the sales cycle, wherever he is, it is bound to work. So your automated sequences or emails doesn't have to be very robotic, and you can customize it and you can personalize it enough. Then you have follow the customer path. Look at where the customer is stuck. Help him there. There is no point in sending random emails to him without even realizing at which stage of the cycle he is, because eventually he's going to lose trust on your support system as well. If I know somebody is stuck at lesson 2, if he's not moving forward, it makes sense for me to say that, okay, lesson 3 is here and we have added these new topics. I think this will exactly fit your business requirement at this point in time. That makes more sense, right? So please follow where the customer is, follow along with him and help him wherever he's stuck. Then you have go after the hot leads. In the previous case, when we saw that there was somebody who has logged in and also finished 2 lessons, now that is a hot lead, right? Because there's no point in running after and spending time and money and effort behind somebody who is not even signed up yet. But I have somebody who is signed up, who has already finished 2 video lessons. It makes more sense for me to invest my time, effort, and money on those guys. So run after the hot leads. No batch and blast techniques. It will not work. You need to segment your audiences first. There is no point if you're sending one email to thousands of people in your list without even realizing which category they fall under, what do they want, which at what stage are they stuck at the sales cycle. It doesn't make any difference if you bulk batch them and send them across. There's no point doing that. Segment and send is the better alternative. Then you have think beyond email. You just don't have to stick your automated sequences to just being sending out automated emails. You can talk about automated messages, text messages, automated voice calls, automated voice notes, automated voice WhatsApp GIFs. All these things will be effective when you start thinking out of the box. So you don't have to necessarily stick to emails is the point. Then you have test and optimize. If you stop this or if you don't pay attention to this, you will only see limited success because things are changing, customers' needs are changing, customers' expectations are changing, the situations they're facing are changing, the problems that they're facing and they're getting stuck is changing. So you need to constantly reiterate and reinvent the way you're trying to reach out these guys and help them. The more you are there for them wherever they are stuck, the more are they bound to trust you and take you up on that offer and run along with you to help your business succeed while they solve their own problems. I think this case study makes a lot of sense from the basic understanding perspective. As I said, let this be your 101 of marketing automation understanding. I will be bringing to you more techniques and more case studies, more terms and terminologies, more models that people use to execute effective marketing automation strategies. As always, I appreciate you for your time, and I really would love it if you can please subscribe to this channel and please mention in the comments if you need me to make a specific video about anything that you have in mind related to digital marketing, lead gen, marketing automation, anything. I will be more than happy to make a video on that. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. This is Casey signing off. Ciao.